What is happening? Whoa. That was intense.
Welcome, everyone, to Popcorn and Beers, where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs. We use popcorn and beers. Yum, yum, yum. Dropped it. Spilled it. Doing our best over here. Anyway, my name is Josh. Welcome into the show. Who else here? It's just Jordan, right? No
Just
Fries
me.
night?
Just me.
Oh,
That's it.
Uncle Fry's not playing tonight. Or maybe he is. Maybe he's watching in the background. Anyway, we're going to follow suit with what we've been doing lately, liking the pattern, liking the rhythm. I'm hoping we could get started with our butter on top, right?
Absolutely.
Because the butter is on top. You got to eat that first. Especially if the popcorn guy doesn't do the proper like shake 'em ups in between.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
give me like 1/3, shake 'em up, another third, shake 'em up, and then butter on top, and then maybe some white cheddar powder. What would you do? You mess with the powder or what?
I mess with the chili, the hot sauce. Give me some Tapatio or some Tabasco, and
Does your theater have? You sneak it in,
It
don't
does. No, my theater actually provides it.
you? What's your preference? Top teal?
Tapatio, yeah, for
I
sure.
go Yucatan, the green salsa.
Yeah, good stuff there.
Yeah, Yucatan's nice.
I love it.
I also like Melinda's, but I haven't messed with it with popcorn.
Mm.
Anyway, yeah, the butter on top. Where'd my phone go? There it is. I have some notes.
Sure.
I got to watch the butter on top for the first time, so I'm going to start. Not for the first time. First time in a while. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We happen to be recording at a later time, so I got to actually see it like less than an hour ago.
Yeah.
So it was the Equalizer 3. And that was, who was that? I know his face. I'm not sure what his name is.
It's not coming to me.
Denzel.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Denzel Washington in the third installment. I'm pretty sure, I really hope, is the last Equalizer in theaters. Just let Latifah have it now, right? Let the queen.
I guess.
Yeah. So I started the movie, and before the movie started was a Giamatti movie and trailers. That was a nice surprise to see Paul Giamatti. Did you happen to see that same trailer where he's a teacher and kids are home for winter break, or no, at the school for winter break, and he's the designated professor babysitter at the university? I think based on no. Okay, well, I forgot what it's called, but it's coming up soon, I guess. Probably like a holiday type movie. Paul Giamatti has to watch the kids at the famous Ivy League type school for over winter break. The kids who don't have anywhere to go, like Harry Potter. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I will always and forever watch anything with Giamatti in it, even if it's a M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie. Big fan. It looks like a very heartwarming nothing movie, though, so I'm still going to watch it, but okay, yeah, it's the holidays, you know, one of those kind of movies. Tough break. Also, Venice, the Murder in Venice, was it the part 3 of the series of the Orient Express, and then there was a train movie, right? Or boat? What was the second one?
Death on the Nile.
On the Nile.
Yeah.
That wasn't too long ago. And they made this third one with Tina Fey and a lot of cool names. Not necessarily huge names, some of them Oscar-winning names, but also others that are just like names that I really love. I'm sure many other folks do too, but maybe don't know the name. I'm not sure. Is that accurate, you think?
Yeah, with the Hercule Poirot series. And remember, if we could flash back here a second, when Knives Out Glass Onion came out, I said, who's your favorite? Who's the better detective, and who do you think will get a third movie first? And I don't know who it was, if it was one of you or both of you, said there's not going to be another Death in the Nile movie. They're done with that. It's like, you are wrong.
Oh, dang, you got us good, Bubba. And you know what? I forced myself to forget that I ever made such a statement. Because, obviously, right? The mustache, can't be denied. You know, he has a double mustache. You see it, and I think if I saw correctly, he has a triple now. He has like a little guy right here, and then a guy like I got right here, and then he has one underneath. Because in the first movie he just had two, but now he's got three. I'm pretty sure he has three.
It's the third movie. You got to go 3 mustaches.
Anyway, I can't wait. Anyway, that was the trailers. We haven't even gotten to the movies yet.
Right.
I want to tell you, I love a Denzel.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that look, and it's that emotionless look. You know,
Mm-hmm.
other actors have it too, but not everyone has that look where it's like, I got your soul. I just stole your soul. Okay, dead body in the first 30 seconds. Love that. Camera in the beginning is very low, mostly showing feet and only the details that matter to the scene. Oh, there's a head that has a knife in it. Here's a foot, here's a blood, here's a thing, that's broken, this broken. Really good. The camera does some cool things that are almost impossible for a real camera to do. Pretty cool. The first lines of the movie in Italian are, the first lines of the movie happen to be in Italian, and these are what they are. Wait here. They told me to wait. Let's go, let's go. That's kind of cool. I don't know why. But first 4 line. The amount of disrespectful movie maneuvers in this movie is up to 5 that I counted. Like, he didn't just kill people.
No.
Disrespect. There was a scene where a bullet had to be removed. I just happen to know that most of the time a bullet doesn't have to be removed. It's actually worse to remove a bullet. That's just movie magic bullshit. Most of this wonderful movie, was filmed in beautiful Sicily and Rome, but and Naples, but all that southernish Italy, really South Italy and above, so beautiful.
Yeah.
I used to live there just for a tiny little while, and I really, really missed Italy. I didn't really realize how much until I saw this movie. They did a great job of showing the small culture of Italy, the general neighborhood type vibe that Italy brings, and it really was heartwarming and a beautiful thing, and it really helped the plot in a way that Denzel got to explain sometime in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Faded Denim apparently is back in if you're a mobster. Dakota Fanning, what's up? There was one unnecessary woman without pants shot. Like, why did she have to just be wearing panties?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what? The doctor, you'll find out if you watch the movie, he says they're like a cancer, and with cancer there's no cure. And Denzel had that face like,
Yeah.
I'm about to cut that shit out,
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
And then, okay, atrocities. He and the bad guys just commit atrocities. And Denzel becomes, I wrote down, Nightmare Man. He just becomes a horror movie character for these people that he's coming after, which is classic Equalizer style. He just has this ability. Nice Saint Michael imagery, you know what I mean? If you're Catholic, you know the game. Denzel does to sprinkle some crack on him at one point.
He does.
That's all I got. Basically, it was a pretty great movie. A nice farewell. The first movie was, hey, I'm the Equalizer. Guess what I can do? The second movie was, oh, now it's personal. Guess what? And then this movie was, take him out of it, put him in somewhere entirely different. He's still doing his job. I really love this aspect of a trilogy. A lot of trilogies fail in this regard. Just put him somewhere else and keep it moving. So they did a great job with, like, this is probably the finish of the series. I hope so, and it deserves to be, and it's well done. But it doesn't have to be this whole, like, bring it back to the beginning thing. And they do that a little bit with Dakota Fanning, but I thought it was wonderful. I give it a popcorn and 2.
Okay. All right. Fair. I could see that. Yeah, Denzel, he's an older gentleman at this point. He's in the older ages of his life. And he doesn't typically, I don't say Denzel ever looks his age. But I think the face that he makes throughout the movie, and it's kind of his typical Denzel face, but it's a little more exaggerated, where you're kind of doing the...
They looked at it.
It makes him look like he's a really, like, an old man. Like he's got some kind of...
And then, of
kind of
course, there's
ailment.
the trope where the hero is wounded in the beginning and he has to heal, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, I know. It's like, why can't everyone just be Wolverine and like flex and heal themselves?
Well, even Wolverine got hit with it. Part 2 of the Logan saga
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
lost his powers for no reason. Bad writing.
Yeah. It's a slow build up to all the action scenes,
Yeah.
and they're satisfying. But I just felt like there wasn't enough of them. I feel like we could have
Mm.
went with maybe one more like good action sequence, or maybe just a couple of them were just a little bit longer. Like throw in one more goon and one more cool kill in a couple of the different scenes,
Okay.
and it might have been enough for me. Yeah, I like one of my favorite lines is when he's got the guy, the paint. He's like, "I'm holding your something nerve, and this is at a 4. If I go up to a 5, you're gonna crap yourself all over
Yep.
this restaurant."
It's this one right here. And this is
Yeah,
actually ancient Chinese technique to relieve headaches, if anyone's wondering. Push down and in, massage it, go hand
yeah,
to
oh
hand.
yeah, get in there.
It's a raw nerve that'll help you with your headaches, just so you know.
Oh, goody.
If you go at a 1, don't go at a 4 like
Don't
Denzel
go
said.
to a 4. Yeah, you might crap your pants. Dakota Fanning was good. I liked her in it. I every time I see Dakota Fanning, I'm never like it doesn't click like it's Dakota Fanning, and she's in a lot of things recently. It always takes me a second to go, wait, who is that? I know her, but I love the banter between her and Denzel, the Equalizer
Yeah,
character.
it was good.
Yeah, they're really. You felt like they were just really kind of riffing, like it almost felt like it wasn't scripted. So it'd be
Yeah,
interesting to find out if that
truly,
was.
it felt very natural and like it wasn't like maybe the Bourne Identity where Matt's talking to Julia Stiles. So Matt Damon's talking to Julia Stiles, and he's just like giving her the schooling the whole
Yeah,
time. But
yeah.
this movie, he's like, "Oh, I did that," and she's like, "Yeah, I saw that. Well, I did that. Yeah, I saw that too. Cool moves. Yeah, you cool moves too. You know, that was
Yeah.
nice."
For a trilogy, it didn't take it to a next level for me. It it didn't
Okay.
step up in really any way
Mm,
besides the scenery, maybe.
okay.
But
Beautiful scenery.
oh yeah, great, fantastic, and but it just felt like it was coasting. It was coasting to just a nice, palatable conclusion that everyone would be like,
Yeah,
okay,
it was
uh,
almost like just another episode.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. And I love that he ends the movie just being a football hooligan, European football hooligan. You know,
Yeah, a Green Street type, huh?
yeah, yeah. Popcorn and beer for me.
Popcorn beer.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. I think
yeah.
my popcorn too is very biased in this regard, just so everyone knows. Little disclaim.
Part one was fantastic. I love part one. It's a great. I've seen it a lot of times, and even part one's a popcorn and two, but it's really good. So I couldn't. I like the first one. I don't think it compared to the first one. So
Okay.
that's what I based my
No,
rating on.
I very much agree. Okay, so I say the first one is a poppin' two, second one poppin' one, third poppin' two, maybe a
Okay.
poppin' one. Equalizer 1 was a great character, and it required no sequel. It didn't
Mm-mm.
ask for anything else. He went to the top and killed the Russian mob for fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
I
mean?
like
Like
how
it could.
he
Go ahead.
totally Kevin McAllister's them in a hardware store, and that's pretty great.
Oh, he went Home Alone hard, dog.
Yeah,
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 nail guns and water and all these, the sandbags.
yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that was
Love
a
it.
thing that we kind of lost here.
Mm-hmm.
This time we just got Nightmare Man, which was
Michael
also cool.
Myers, yeah.
Yeah.
Denzel Myers.
He's just walking through with the stone face, like,
Yeah,
oh, and he plays with him too. Like, here's my knife on your cheek. Guess what? I'm going to follow you down the stairs. Like, oh my God.
yeah.
But it wasn't necessarily something I protest. But yeah, I agree with you. The first one, the way he talked to the bad guy, like, how bad do you think I am? Drops the sunglasses and the drink. Remember that
Mm-hmm.
when they're having
Mm-hmm.
the face to face like heat?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
Good stuff.
okay, moving on. We got another Denzel on deck. Want to go for it?
Yeah, I stuck in the theme with a good Denzel movie. I tried to pick something a little bit older, maybe a little bit of a deeper cut, of a Denzel
Hmm.
deeper cut. Definitely not going to be the last drunk classic Denzel movie on this show, I'm sure.
No,
Uh,
forever.
yeah, in this movie, Denzel is Denzel. He's
He's
coming.
old time Denzel. He's like when Denzel was like Brad Pitt Denzel.
Oh, he's coming. He's rolling into his prime,
Yeah.
Denzel, like Training Day. Just like he's
Mm.
rolling into that mode in this movie.
Oh, would you say that this is his 7? Like Brad Pitt had 7?
Yeah, 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 definitely. I could see that. John Goodman is good. He's great in this
Wait, what's the
movie,
movie?
as always. Fallen. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Did I not say it? I
I
didn't
don't
say it.
know.
I don't think
Maybe you
so.
did.
The title of the movie is Fallen.
Fallen. The
Yeah,
Fallen? Who cares?
just Fallen. I think it's just Fallen. Yeah, Denzel is Denzel. John Goodman is great, as
Never
always.
misses. He never misses.
He's so good. He's just always a good addition to any cast, and he's really creepy and good when he's playing the role when he's possessed by the demon. He comes off like he just has one of those like likable like dad faces. Like he's always just seems like the dad from Roseanne, but it's just like he plays it good, like the
Yeah.
possessed guy, you know. And one of my first
Wow, big
crushes.
spoiler, but I guess it's a 40-year-old movie, so.
Yeah, I'm not telling you exactly how it ends, but if I did, it
No,
might
not at
soften the
all.
blow because the ending is horrible. It's not good. I did not like
It's
the ending of this
rough.
movie at all. And this was like my third time watching this movie, and I still was just as disappointed by it after the third time seeing it. I'm like, oh, why did it have to end like that? One of my first crushes is in this from being a little kid. Miss Honey from Matilda.
Miss Honey.
You've seen Matilda, right? The
I have
teacher.
not. No, put it on the list.
You've never seen the OG Matilda?
No, I've not.
Oh my god, I love that. That was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. Read the book, everything.
No, I'm very ashamed I haven't seen it. I know how good it is.
But the woman character in this movie that takes the little boy for him,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that he kind of confides in, that had been through with this thing with her dad, the demon possessed her dad. I guess she
Mm.
plays. Yeah, she's. I had a big crush on her as a kid. She's looks really good. um, I like a good detective movie that crosses into the occult or the supernatural,
Yeah,
and
that's
and it,
rare,
yeah,
particularly.
and it doesn't seem to be a plot that's done very well or very often.
Mm.
This one it's a little bit cheesy. It's like an adult version of a Goosebumps episode, like the old Goosebumps TV show. It's kind of what it
I'm
the
with you.
the
Yeah,
pacing and the screenplay, the camera cinematography is the word I look for of it. Kind
a
of
little
comes
bit of a
off as
twist.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it works that and it stays generally vague with the supernatural sort of BS that it's doing. It doesn't try to explain too much and get too into the weeds with what's going on. It's kind of just like there are demons, there is this stuff, it exists.
Mm.
Um, you know, XYZ, this is how we fight it, but we don't really know. It just stays within itself.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a little one shot, a little Twilight, a little Outer Limits, a little Goosebump. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, and I hate I there's always something corny about when they have a supernatural element in a movie and that element happens to be like a demonic type thing and they give it a name, like they have to give the demon a name in this, and it's always weird because the demon name is always like this weirdly cartoonish silly name that kind of humanizes it, like they call it like Azazel or something, which
Azazel was his name, which is biblical.
yeah, it's a
You know.
real thing. I did some research, a little bit of research on this, and I'm not going to go too far down it, but that was like a real demon name in whatever a
Mm-hmm.
demon dictionary or something. Um, but it's like
Demon Dictionary.
there's always
Mm.
it always just has some goofy name. Like when I watched The Pope's Exorcist, they gave the demon some goofy name, and then in what's it called, Paranormal Activity, the demon's name is Toby or like something stupid
Oh,
like
it's
that.
Toby.
Yeah, Toby, good Toby, Toby.
He had it up. He brought a lunch. It's packed. It's in the fridge. Not before
oh,
11. It's
oh,
Toby.
oh,
Bop,
Toby.
bop. Oh,
Oh no.
oh, Jabberwocky. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with
Yeah.
you.
I think it's a well layered movie. There's a lot of there's emotional stuff. There's it's good with the detective work. It's good with the it's good with the supernatural stuff. It's all very well layered, and nothing kind of steps on the other theme's toes.
Yeah.
Definitely a fun first time watch. I feel like it reveals a little bit too much too fast in the beginning
Yes.
of the movie. I feel like they could have built up a little more. Like, wait a minute, what's really going on here? Like, is he just crazy? Is he
Yes.
doing this stuff? They kind of just give it to you right off the bat.
Well, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Go on. Go on.
but I like to. I was you think watching this movie like what a mind freak, a mind f it
Chris
would be.
Angel.
Yeah, I
Is this
am
your
the
card
mind freak.
coming out of my veins?
Oh man! But what would it be to be Denzel's character when it's revealed to him in that scene when the guy is walking by and he keeps bumping into people passing, and he's just
Yes.
going and he's like watching them like what? Like imagine how crazy you would feel. Like I would just be like, I'd just be like, nope, and I would get on a plane and I would leave the country and change my name. Like nope, I'm not dealing with this. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ending is awful and it makes the whole thing pointless, is my final note. But I give it a popcorn and a beer.
That's interesting you say that. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. You say popcorn and beer. I
Yeah.
say thank you for introducing me to this movie.
Yeah.
I think I saw some of it when I was a kid because I have flashbacks of that scene where it's back and forth with the pedestrians.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so it's just I'm gonna spoil a little bit of this movie. It's a demon who touches other. He inhabits humans. It touches another human. He can inhabit that body. That body. Thank you for letting me see this movie. It's nice to see Denzel that young, still having great acting chops from that age. What is he? 28? You know, like
And
maybe I don't know.
yeah.
It reminded me of Devil in a Blue Dress. You seen that one? It's a
Mm-mm.
similar time frame where he's a detective and things happen, but it's deep south and it's old school. It's not the same by any means. It's more of a noir, but in the south.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put that on the list. But it was a lot of fun. Good movie. I have no notes other than Casey Jones, which is to say the actor in the beginning who had the demon first was Casey Jones, the vigilante from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie number one,
There you go.
which is pretty cool. I always thought he was a great actor. I've always wondered where he went. It's nice to know that he played a natural born killers type of character for about 10 minutes. He did a great job as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to ask, once again, spoiler, skip ahead about 30 seconds if you want to. The demon, it's been explained in the storyline, the demon does not want to be identified. He doesn't want to be known by the character from Matilda, right? The
Mm-hmm.
actress from Matilda. He doesn't want his name to be known. He doesn't want. You're in trouble once you find out who he is.
Yeah.
However, he made every attempt to be found out in the beginning.
Yeah.
Grabbed the hand, spoke the ancient Aramaic. He made sure in the documentary he was found out by the detective. Why? The only explanation is maybe he had suspicion that he was one of those paladin type, holy warrior type people, and he wanted to expose them or kill them. Right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
only possible concept. But it was never revealed in that way. It wasn't that part never got steamrolled,
Yeah.
even though the rest of the plot got steamrolled. Basically,
Yeah.
it's weird how a movie from back then can feel long but they also throw everything at you really quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For
The
sure.
pacing in the
Yeah.
90s was different.
Yeah.
I liked the movie. I thought the same as you. Why did we have so much conflict and character development and building of Denzel when okay, he dies in the end. Like he did it. He was clever. He solved the case. He did it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, there's a cat?
Yeah.
Oh, a cat! A cat ruined the movie.
A
A
cat.
cat. And so did the Rolling Stones. Please allow
Yeah.
me to
Oh,
introduce
I love that
myself.
song. You know, sympathy
Wonderful,
for the devil. Yeah.
wonderful song. Wonderful
Yeah.
song. It fit the scene of the crime, of course.
Yeah.
However, man, like I really feel like I would leave that theater throwing a tomato. I'd go buy a tomato and throw it because dog, come on. But also at the same time, maybe not because This is a type of movie, or even like I've been saying how TV shows are becoming a lot of movies that can't be movies anymore. They're becoming
Mhm.
TV shows.
Mhm.
It wouldn't even be a show anymore. It would be an episode of a Black Mirror type show, right?
Yeah. 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 For sure.
So these type of movies were allowed to be made back then. Not anymore. There's no way this would be made in theaters. So that's really nice to see that.
Mhm.
It's a cool thing. I wasn't angry. I was just like, who wrote this? You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
want to talk to him. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
Time is on my side.
Oh boy, I tell you what, I did sing that for a long time.
With
Speaking of,
Fallen, this is a movie I had seen probably right around the time it came out, so I forgot a lot. Seeing James Gandolfini, seeing John Goodman, Denzel, they looked good. They looked like the folks that were dominating that era as far as films and TV shows were concerned. When it comes to this movie, though, it's a very convoluted plot. The ending really makes the movie pointless. It is full of itself if you watch from the beginning to the end. And it is a very slow burn, and it's slow, and it's slow, and it's slow. And it's one of those movies that's trapped in theology and who's evil, who's good, does God exist, do angels exist, do demons exist? And it loses itself. And it just becomes droning and droning until the very end, where, like I said, it appears to be full of itself. So for me, that was a popcorn and one. Now, being ill, I was able to catch up on mostly TV shows that I had not had time to watch because you got to watch movies, things like that, work day to day, obviously. So I caught up on Warrior Season 3. That is a pop 2. Not because the writing in Season 3 is the best or it's all tied up in a cute bow at the end of Season 3. It's a pop 2 because it is the best martial arts program that is out there right now. Fight me. I don't care. There is nothing better in the realm of martial arts than this show, taking place in a gold rush era San Francisco in Chinatown, where the martial arts are just mind blowing with this show. The story's cool. The gang wars in Chinatown are cool, but overall, it's just the martial arts bring this show to a pop 2 for me. Anyone that's a fan of martial arts movies, I highly suggest Warrior. Then I caught up on Doom Patrol season 4. This is a great show for those that are into weird television, and for me, they're doing the superhero genre in a way that it's not being done anywhere else. It's irreverent, it's fun, it's witty, it's got a great cast, and it's got some voices that you'll definitely recognize. For me, that is also a popcorn and 2. Next, I watched Titans season 4. This is the final season of Titans, I believe, for now, where the gang all goes their separate ways at the end. This one, after season 1, it's a pop 1. It's really hard the next 3 seasons to follow along. It's one of those shows where, okay, same old shenanigans, same old villains, same old plot over and over and over again. I'm not going to say there aren't great episodes every season, because there are. There are definitely great episodes. But for a show like this one that really crushed season 1, you would expect more. At the end of season 4, it droned down to a pop 1. Season 1, though, definitely a pop 2 for me. Definitely getting close to a pop 3. The next one is honestly going to lead me into my lone movie review for this week. But I watched Stargirl season 3, and it's really a teeny bopper superhero show. You get a little bit of Luke Wilson, you get some Colin in there, but overall, for me, Colin Quinn, for me, it's a pop 1. It's just kind of a guilty pleasure show to keep up with the DC events. It's got its moments, but I do think season 3 is probably the end based on the ending. They're probably going to spin it off into a different show, so a pop 1 for me. Disenchantment Part 5 by Matt Groening and the whole the whole cast of Futurama is back for the Part 5 of this show. I'm going to give it a pop 2 altogether. The Adventures of Bean, Lucy, and Elfo were a joy to watch. It is a pop 2. I do have a soft spot for adult cartoons. It can be gory at times. It can be lewd and crude with its humor at times, but it's a fun ride. It's something good to just put on in the background, perhaps while you're doing chores, maybe something to fall asleep to. You don't have to pay too close attention to. But if you do, you'll find that it has a very intricate storyline that's woven in and out of parts 1, 2, 3, 4, and tied up with in part 5. Finally, my lone movie review. You're so not invited to my bat mitzvah, pardon me. I turned it on thinking it was going to be an Adam Sandler flick. It was not an Adam Sandler flick. It is a coming-of-age teenage girl movie. Completely. Adam Sandler is in it very few times. It doesn't have a lot to do with his style of comedy. I mean, you get your voices here and there. You get your dad jokes here and there. All in all, it's a poppin' one. I think it was pretty good for its intended audience. For people like me, it's not a good movie. I enjoyed bits and pieces. I think it went a bit too far, but of course, I'm not a teenage girl, so I don't know. Overall, it's going to be a pop one. Barely a pop one, but I think it's going to definitely hit its intended audience. Thanks so much, and back to the crew.
Speaking of, we're getting into some stuff that we watched this week. Now we've done the butter on top, and we've done the drunk classic. We're going to talk about what we've seen, and then go into what we're going to watch next week for the drunk and the butter. But personally, I watched Happiness. I watched Happiness for Beginners. I apologize. I have forgotten her name, even though she's been mentioned in the last 2 or 3 episodes. The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Kimmy Schmidt? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, or Erin from The Office. She's the main character, the protagonist. She's the one who goes on the hike and finds herself, etc. It's a really good rom-com movie. Have you seen this?
No, I've definitely heard of it, though. I've seen it on the menu, yeah.
Well, it has Harrison Ford's youngest son from Yellowstone in it, even though he doesn't look the same because he's put on a couple pounds, because he's not playing a cowboy, he's playing a human. And he is not dirty, so you might not recognize him. So he has like 5 extra pounds on him, and he's taking a shower. So anyway, he's the male lead, and she's the female lead, the main character. She's going on a hiking trip to find herself after a really long time divorce, and he just sneaks himself into this hiking trail extravaganza. It's like a 10-man trip. Everyone in the cast is a funny character who's like really, honestly, very additive to the show. It's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's a laugh riot. I did some chuckles. Mostly it's very heartwarming. I would say the whole movie is a Hallmark style movie, but very good. You know what I mean? A good Hallmark.
Sure.
Like the way you watch a Hallmark, but that was actually pretty good. Like you know what I mean?
Okay,
so in that case, I'd give it a popcorn of 1. Funny enough, lovely enough, romantic enough. Done. Good stuff. Next, I watched The Island. I watched it out of spite because Fry, who's not here to defend himself, hates Jared Leto. No, Jude Law. He probably hates Jared Leto too.
I think we all hate Jared Leto.
R.I.P. Jared Leto. He had some hits, but mostly not. Jude Law. I thought Jude Law was the lead in The Island, but it was actually the person I always mistake for Jude Law for no reason. Maybe it's racism? Ewan McGregor. They're both English. Is that racist? I don't know. But they're not even the same accent. They're just both English. And they both got popular relatively at the same time. But Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson, when she was young in her career, not all the way young, but young enough. It's a futuristic movie, dystopian in a sense, but also kind of modern in the way that, like, Total Recall's kind of modern. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell the whole plot because who cares about the whole plot, but it's people who think the world is this way, but it's actually that way. When they show the modern world, it's funny to see some cool things like where there would normally be a phone booth. Kids, a phone booth is where there used to be phones before cell phones. We had a whole movie thing about it.
Yeah.
This case, there was an MSN booth, like Microsoft Network booth. That's how old this movie is. Back when Microsoft Network was like the hot stuff. There was no like Gmail back then.
Yeah.
Before Gmail was invented, they had this. And it was like a phone booth where you would go to use the internet because that was before smartphones. So that's a funny little thing where like we think technology is going this way, but not at all. That was kind of fun to see where like they're trying to like search the internet. That's a scene. They're trying to find the right search words for the internet in the middle of downtown. Also, they mentioned Scarlett Johansson's character is a clone of a famous model, and the famous model is mentioned in this movie to be in uh, GQ, Esquire, and most notable Maxim. Because in the future, Maxim exists. Do you remember Maxim, Jordan?
Yeah, I've heard the name. I might have heard the name.
Yeah, it used to be a fake penthouse, right?
Yeah.
The women were dressed hot. It was very chauvinistic, but not so much like more like Chive. You know, Chive.com. That's also old now.
Yeah.
Like we really respect these women, but let me see what's up with that butt. You know what I mean? Very frat house.
Yeah.
I think it's an okay movie. I go popcorn. Popcorn. It mostly just interesting to see how the future works according to the past. You know, I always like that kind of thing. I forgot to
Yeah.
mention last week. Last week, I saw Barbie finally, Popcorn, and 3.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think it's a movie that can always be rewatched. I think it's a movie that was executed perfectly. I think the visuals were stunning. The soundtrack was absolutely pristine.
Okay.
The practical and CG effects, the casting choices, the plot delivery as well as intention was pretty damn good, dude.
Okay.
The it's evident in the first scene when you do that 2001
Space Odyssey.
homage.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
The obelisk.
They went to great lengths to ensure that was very loyal to the original scene. It wasn't just like a spoof. It was like a really great reshot.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's it.
Okay. I'm not mad at
Yep.
that. I can see it.
I mean, I didn't think I would say Barbie's a popcorn 3. I thought it was gonna be a popcorn 1. I would watch that the rest of my life. I will watch it anytime it comes on TV. Not that that's a thing anymore, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Lastly, I watched Dungeons and Dragons again. The second time around, I still really like it. I think I probably called it a popcorn 3 last time. I'll go popcorn 2 this time. Second rewatch. Or the first rewatch. Second time watching. Still incredible. Still very loyal to the source material, which is vast. Like more than 10 novels of book and more than 100 actual novels have been written about the lore of this game, and more could be written. So very loyal to that huge lore, but also mostly loyal to the experience of playing Dungeons and Dragons, which feels serious going in. It always feels like I'm going to play the character that gets to the thing and kills the dragon and becomes the king or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it ends up being fun. It ends up being funny and weird things happen. That's the point of the game. It's like you're not sure how it's going to go. We're just going to play our characters and whoop, that dragon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I give that a popcorn 2. I'm going to leave you with that because I think you watched it this week, right?
I watched it last week too, on a visit with my mom. She hadn't seen it, so I wanted to show her. It's really her cup of tea, these kinds of things. And yeah, I mean, I felt like the jokes landed again, if not harder for me. Like I was anticipating the kind of the silly moments, and I laughed. I felt like a little bit harder than I did when I first seen it. So it holds up. I think I could definitely, watch this movie kind of anytime it's on in passing, I don't remember my original one. I don't know if it was I said it was a very good popcorn in 1, but I'll say it's a popcorn in 2.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Fat Dragon.
The Fat Dragon. And I love the scene with Jarnathan. I'd be really great if Jarnathan was here.
Jonathan!
I love that. Okay, so besides that, some stuff I watched this week. Okay, bear with me. Some Buble. bear with me here on this very unnecessarily long title. This movie is called Big George Foreman, the miraculous story of the once and future heavyweight champion of the world. Okay, it's a little indulgent, I know. AKA,
He's deserving of his name, though. He's the guy. He named all of his children after himself. It's very deserving.
Bear with me here. The only way they could have made this title more longer and would have fit is Big George Foreman, the miraculous story, blah, 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 once a champion for the future of the world. AKA the guy who lost the Rumble in the Jungle to Ali, the dope in the famous rope-a-dope equation. AKA the guy who marketed the hell out of some countertop electric griddles. AKA the guy who has 5 sons all named George and 1 daughter named Georgetta. Or Georgette. Sorry,
Wow.
Georgette. Yeah.
He had a sitcom, remember that?
Did he really?
You don't.
No, I don't. No.
It's called George.
Yeah, of course it was. He offers a good explanation for that in the movie because they ask him, they're like, why are all your kids? He's like, because if one of us does something bad, then we all did something bad. We let all of each other down, something like that, to that effect.
That's cute. I guarantee that's not the real truth, but it's cute.
Yeah. He's just maybe he's a little bit of a narcissist.
He's great the whole time.
Yeah. The actor who plays George Foreman does a decent job, but the dialogue in the movie is just so horrible. It's so lazy. It's so Hallmark movie.
So Hallmark.
So bad Hallmark movie. Forrest Whitaker is in it, along with a couple of other familiar faces. Forrest Whitaker has some really good scenes where he really gets to display his powers, his acting powers.
Man, he's good at it too. He's a wizard.
Yeah.
Last King of Scotland.
Yeah, very good, huh? The guy playing Ali looks like him. I wanted to say at first because I'm a huge Muhammad Ali fan. Anytime he's done in a movie besides Will Smith, when Will Smith did him, I'm always like, no, that doesn't look like Ali. That's not doing him justice. But as the movie went on, I was like, no, he really looks like Ali, and he did a okay job, but it just kind of sometimes felt like he's doing Denzel Washington doing an Ali impression. If you can follow what I mean there. He's just got some Denzel faces, and maybe that's because we were on a Denzel kick this week. So maybe it was just stuck in my mind there, but some of the facial expressions, I was like, that's a Denzel face.
Because it's a guaranteed it works, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hands off of me.
Yeah. The boxing scenes look slow motion and aren't very fluid. It's very slow. But at the same time, if you go and watch George Foreman's, highlight reel on YouTube or whatever, it's kind of how he fought. And Ali makes fun of him, like, oh, he throw these big lumbering punches. It looked like you're fighting a mummy. Oh, he tries to clobber people like a mummy. And it's like, no, he really did fight like that. He did
fight like that.
It wasn't
like a lot of folks look at Tyson and they forget that other folks punch different. He punched like a U-Haul that won't stop backing up. It's coming. It's not going to stop coming. You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of folks that come with the snaps. He doesn't snap. He's just beep,
lumbering.
Beep,
yeah. Yeah. It had its good moments, but it does get a little sluggish. Nothing that really stays with you from this movie. It's a good underappreciated sports story, though. It's something that I didn't know that I didn't know he had a comeback.
Oh,
at all.
I didn't either.
I didn't follow his career all that much. I really just knew him for selling grills. He became the oldest champion in history until I think Bernard Hopkins passed him. So yeah, he was really old and really fat and became a champion.
Damon Wayans made a movie about a spoof, kind of. It wasn't really about him, but it was like modeled after him, modeled after his comeback. He was fat, like he had a belly and stuff.
Yeah,
there was a whole movie about that. I haven't seen it, but I saw it on previews, like when I was a child.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll be a blind drunk classic someday.
Okay. I give it a popcorn and a beer.
Nice.
Yeah. So next up, I watched Telemarketers on Max.
Ooh.
It is it was produced by the Safdie brothers, who were behind Uncut Gems and a few other those like indie A24 movies. Yeah, it's a 3-part insider expose on the company's Civic Development Group, or CDG, from New Jersey. It's a scam company that invented telemarketing as we generally know it today, where basically they use bogus nonprofits and are in cahoots with police unions. They impersonate officers, threaten, extort people, steal from old ladies. It's obviously still going on now because we still get all these robocalls and stuff, from everywhere. But it's all automated using the recorded voices of guys that are like dead. Like these guys, as they're investigating, they're like, hey, that's that guy that we used to work with at the telemarketing place. He's been dead for like 3 years, but here's his voice on our answering machine. It was kind of a trip. Yeah. It's kind of, this whole thing kind of unfolds. It's like a blue collar Wolf of Wall Street. So basically, these telemarketing places, they don't require drug tests, background checks, anything. And they like recruit straight out of halfway houses. Their rationale behind this is they're like, well, if we want people to sell crap to people, it's like, who's better than junkies and drug dealers to
That's
get
the
you to
truth,
buy
dog.
something that you don't necessarily want?
They're good.
Yeah, it's crazy. A lot of the first episode, it's a 3-part episode, so it's very short. Most of the first episode is spent with a guy with a really terrible camcorder, just recording all the going ons inside of this work environment, which is insane. Like I said, it's kind of like Wolf of Wall Street. Like there's prostitutes working there,
Goldfish getting eaten,
pulling a double shift, as I'll put it, working in the telemarketing place and doing other business as well.
Gotcha. Yeah.
People doing heroin in between calls, nodding out, and then someone comes on the phone. They go, "Hey, I'm here to sell you blah 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 X and Y," and then go back to nodding off when the person hangs up on them. It's wild, It's super crazy to see. If you get past the 2 main host guys who are likable, but they're kind of just these like low life doofuses who, at the end of every breakthrough that they make in this case, every new lead or clue, there's always just this moment where they have to pause and go, "Oh, that's crazy," and they go, "That's crazy."
And that's 45 seconds of the film. Yeah.
No. I mean, it's not that long, but it's very it's very like they don't know how to break down and analyze what they've just learned in the moment because they're just these 2 stoners. So they just kind of go, "Whoa, that's weird."
So that's how
weird.
they make you feel. Yeah. So like, did you just see what we saw? Like in YouTube today?
Yeah. Exactly. It's entertaining though. It's a good watch for sure. Just it's very they just gave these 2 guys some money and let them do whatever they want. It's silly. I give it a popcorn and a beer, but it's definitely a watch. It's a good watch.
Okay.
Yeah. And lastly, I watched a slightly older movie. I don't know what year it's from exactly, but it's called 47 Ronin on Netflix.
Is that Keanu?
It is Keanu Reeves. God bless him. He plays the white savior in Japanese Fantasyland.
I know that you don't think I'm one of you, but I'm definitely one of you.
Exactly. It's simplistic, yet it's still somehow underexplained. Like what needs to be explained doesn't quite get explained to you. The CG is awful. The bad guy is silly looking, and the bad witch lady is a horrible actress.
I'm a snake.
Yeah.
I'm a little snake.
I'm a sneaky little slippery snake. Zombie Boy, if you know who Zombie Boy is, he kind of was a thing in what, I don't know, early 2000s or something. The guy that was covered in tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? He's like a British guy that was covered
they stole his whole vibe for American Horror Story or whatever.
Yes. He looks cool. He has a very short cameo. I think he's got like 2 lines. He's very cool. R.I.P. to Zombie Boy. I don't know if he was a good guy.
Was he dead?
He's dead. Yeah. He died a long time ago.
Well, I believe it.
Yeah. I don't know if he was like a good guy or a bad guy. Obviously, he
was into some stuff.
Crazy decisions. Yeah, sure.
Surely.
The action is decent, and some of the scenes are just super artistic and really gorgeous looking to look at. Like just when they show like a backdrop, it's phenomenal. It's some of the best that you'll see, like especially for an older movie. It's great.
Nice.
But just nothing original here at all.
Hmm.
It's a popcorn. It's a solid popcorn. Yeah.
A nice popcorn. So.
Yeah.
But what are you thinking for the butter on top? I wonder.
Well, we're getting into the spooky season. We're gonna have some spooky movies dropping in the next few weeks.
Yes.
So we're going with real scary spooky though this year. We're going with Clench Your Pearls. Make sure you go to have a nice long restroom break before the movie starts, because you might wee a little in your pants from this movie. We're going with The Nun Part 2.
There's too many nuns. That's the colon.
Yeah.
I'm very upset you picked that one for the butter on top, because I don't really do that kind of horror. Because
have
usually
you seen the first one?
No, but I'm gonna watch it anyway.
It's good.
But I'm gonna try to watch it anyway. I'm not sure what my schedule is. I'm gonna try really hard. Usually that kind of horror is not my bag, because usually the plot doesn't land. We talked about that. The plane doesn't land.
Sure.
Cool, you got your scares, you got your cool CG, you got your great cinematic, whatever it is. But if you don't write the whole script, it makes me very upset. So I'm going to give you a choice of two.
Okay.
Do you want to see a spooky, scary movie that's wonderful and comedic at times?
Okay.
Sort of like a Raimi type film? Or do you want to watch a movie that is artistic, rocked me as a kid, and probably doesn't hold up?
I like the second one.
Me too. Jacob's Ladder.
That's been on my list. Awesome. Okay, that's been on my list. No, I haven't, but I know all about it. It's been on my list.
We're watching Jacob's Ladder, baby.
Nice.
Jacob's Ladder, The Nun Part B. And I'll see y'all next week at the movies. Check us out at Popcorn and Beers. That's Popcorn and Beer on X. Gonna give it to you. Right? And Twitter? No, wait. That's the same thing. Anyway, take a bow. It's been fun, guys. I'll see you later. Love you. See you at the movies.
Yeah.